Hi, this is lesson number one if you missed the first week of March. So if you could make sure that you have the digital copy and pull it up. I'm going to go ahead and start with just a couple of definitions. And you can kind of scroll down to page 4. So this is a story where the young girl, basically a young adult, is going home to stay with her family. And this place where her parents live um, brings back wonderful memories of her childhood because her family lives in a house, surrounded by nature, not a lot of other houses. So for the main character in this story, Beatrice, this is her refuge. That may not be a word that you're familiar with. A refuge is defined as a place offering protection, shelter from danger, free from trouble, or a place where a person finds happiness. And yes, refugee, the word refugee, when we think of immigrants and refugees, we think of the word refuge. Refuge is one of the core root words of that. So yes, immigrants that come or ethnic groups that come to America are seeking refuge. That means wherever their homeland is, it is not a place of protection. It is not a place where they can cultivate and grow and live a better life. So a lot of refugees come to America because they believe this is their home. And these are the synonyms: a safe haven, a sanctuary, a harbor, safe harbor, a retreat, a sanctum. The other thing we're going to talk about is habits, right? Habits are so deeply ingrained, which is why your parents try to instill them. But it's a tendency, a practice, one that is so settled that we don't even realize that we go back into our habits. And then there's a couple of beautiful uses of figurative language. Figurative language is a literary device using words or phrases for effect, humor, or exaggeration. So personification, where you give inanimate objects human characteristics. What you're going to see in this story is a lot of simile metaphor, where you use comparisons using like or as. Okay, so let's start the story. Not a long story. It is titled Reawakening by Kelly Pell. Here we go. Beatrice wakes early, but something's wrong. Where's the usual roaring of traffic beyond her bedroom window? Where's her neighbor upstairs, who stomps down the stairs every morning on his way to work? Where's the shrill screaming of children as they walk to school? In the second before she opens her eyes, floating weightlessly between consciousness and sleep, Beatrice convinces herself that the world has ended and she's the last person alive. But then she opens her eyes and the illusion shatters. She is staring up at the ceiling in her childhood bedroom, and she remembers that she's visiting her parents for the weekend. It is not silent as she originally thought. The world outside is filled with birdsong. The morning is sweet and gorgeous. Pale golden sunlight slants in through the gap between the curtains. A smile curves Beatrice's lips as she kicks back the sheets and stretches luxuriously. With sudden childish excitement, she jumps out of bed and races out of her room, down the stairs and out the front door. Grass tickles her bare feet and she wiggles her toes against the sand. The bright blue sky stretches out above her and fields roll in gentle waves in every direction. There's your figurative language there. Her parents' house is the only building for miles. Sunlight glints on the drops of dew, glittering like scattered jewels amongst the grass. You'll notice figurative language again. Standing beneath the spring sky with the clean, fresh air in her lungs and the sun on her skin, the city, with its gray streets crowded with disgruntled commuters, could not have seemed farther away. Beatrice races across the grass towards the wood, taking delight in the way her hair streams behind her and the easy movement of her sleepy, sun-drenched limbs. Beneath the trees, the wood is coming back to life after its long winter slumber. Sunlight excuse me, trickles in through the interlacing branches overhead, creating a shifting pattern on the ground, and sun-bright daffodils gaze hopefully towards the sky. Again, personification here. Movement flickers at the corner of Beatrice's eyes as a rabbit darts through the undergrowth, and a fox stands watching her with warm amber eyes. Wood pigeons coo gently, and the stream murmurs on its winding path between the trees. Beatrice steps into the cool, silvery water, and a pleasant shiver travels up her bare legs. She knows if she stands there long enough, fish will start to dart around her toes. This place has been her refuge as a child. Whenever things became too much, if other kids were being cruel to her at school, or her parents were throwing a dinner party she wanted to escape from, she could slip out through the front door, and after just a few minutes of walking through the wood, feel calm again. She could never be completely content with walls pressing in on all sides and skyscrapers glowering down at her with 1,000 windows like all-seeing eyes. She enjoys nothing better than lying on the grass in the shade of a sprawling tree, with her eyes closed and the sunshine glowing pink on the inside of her eyelids and the warm breeze whispering through the leaves above her head. Beatrice turns for home. Her mother is waiting for her in the hall, with a familiar expression of disapproval clouding her eyes and an indulgent smile twitching at the corner of her lips. She reaches across and plucks a leaf from her daughter's hair. Beatrice smiles and shrugs. Old habits, she says. Sorry. Okay, per what we've done for STARS prep, we will go over some discussion questions. Now, it's really interesting, the discussion questions today. A lot of these are inferences. They are drawing conclusions. They're never really specifically outright stated in the story. And these are the questions that students struggle with the most on STARS test. These are the ones that kids will miss. They're great when they're, obvious questions and I know the answer, and I just got a marker on my hand. So how old is Beatrice? Question number one. There are clues in the story to find out this answer. A, Beatrice is a teenager. She likes to sneak outside in the morning to go outside. B, Beatrice is a mother herself who's come to support her parents. C, Beatrice is a young adult who came home to visit her parents for the weekend. D, Beatrice is middle-aged and came home to seek the advice of her parents. The answer is C. Question two, where do you think Beatrice lives when she's not at her parents'? There are clues at the beginning of the story to allow you to draw this conclusion. A, she lives in busy New York City where she can hear the sirens and busy streets. B, she lives in an apartment in a busy downtown city. C, she lives in a college dorm with her roommates. D, she lives with her husband and child in a downtown apartment building. The answer is not A, and that was a trick. It was a big city. It was just the floor above her, though. My daughter lives in New York City, and she's on the 20th floor. So B is the answer. C, where do Beatrice's parents live? A, her parents live in a warm climate near the beach. B, her parents live in a busy neighborhood with friendly neighbors. C, her parents live in the remote country surrounded by green grass and enchanting woods. D, her parents live in a remote area with no neighbors at all. The answer is C. Okay. Question number 4. Figurative language uses simile, metaphor, personification, and other imagery to immerse the reader and grab their attention. Which one of these is figurative language? A, the fields roll in gentle waves in every direction. B, the warm breeze whispering through the leaves above her head. C, sunlight glints on the drops of dew glittering like scattered jewels amongst the grass. D, all of the above. And the answer is D, all of the above. What season is taking place? Look at the title for a clue for this answer. A, it is still winter, but the thaw has begun. B, it is the fall where the leaves have just fallen scattering on the ground. C, it is early spring where the grass has begun to turn green and the sounds of spring are visible. And D, it is summer where Beatrice can run outdoors in her bare feet and feel completely warm and comfortable. And if you go to page 1 in the story, it specifically tells you standing beneath the spring sky. Okay. Just lost my place. Question number 6. Beatrice calls the natural element, nature, outdoors, her refuge, which is defined as a place of protection where one feels safe or free from harm. Why is she drawn back to this place? A, as soon as Beatrice is back in her parents' home, she feels safe. B, when she wakes up the first morning, Beatrice immediately runs outdoors. C, the woods and the watering hole are the one place she remembers fondly as a child where she felt at peace. D, all of the above. And the answer is D, because it makes you feel safe, makes you feel happy, and it energizes you. So it is all the above. Why does Beatrice have leaves in her hair? What is her favorite thing to do? That probably is the cause. And a lot of students didn't get this, so I'm going to read at the very end of the story. She enjoys nothing better than lying on the grass in the shade of a sprawling tree. So she'd be under the tree with her eyes closed and the sunshine glowing pink on the inside of her eyelids. So the answer is C. Beatrice lays under her favorite tree and does not realize she has leaves stuck in her hair. Okay. Number 8. Why do you think Beatrice's mom shows disapproval, dislike, and indulgence, did not mind, when she sees where Beatrice went first thing in the morning? Okay, so this is a 2-part question. So the answer should have 2 parts. Her mom is reminded of unhappy times when Beatrice came home dirty from being outside. That only answers disapproval. B, her mom recognizes Beatrice as being childlike, disapproval, and is also touched by how much she enjoys her childhood home. Both. Her mom is angry because she didn't come down for breakfast. Never said in the story. Her mom knows Beatrice loves the natural surroundings as a child and understands why she needs the escape to revisit a place she loved. That only answers one side. So B is the only answer that did both. And then last question is number 9. When Beatrice says the word old habits at the very end of the story, what do you think she meant? A, Beatrice probably woke up each morning as a child and could not wait to go outdoors. B, Beatrice feels safe and protected in her parents' home, which was remote and surrounded by the woods. C, Beatrice cannot help but seek out the same places which gave her comfort as a child. D, all of the above. And the answer is D, all of the above. All of those were probably her habits based on the story. Okay, now comes the application part. So I will tell you, it really depends on this narrative essay. I'm going to allow you to do a descriptive essay in first-person point of view using I, me, my, myself, mine. Okay, this is not a narrative. And a lot of students did that. So you get the benefit because you didn't come to class, and you get to benefit by learning from their mistakes. The descriptions in the story: the bright blue sky stretches out above her, fields roll in gentle waves, the wood is coming back to life after its long winter slumber. How do you know that's descriptive? Well, we can see with our eyes what's going on. We can hear the sounds. Maybe taste. Not very many topics have taste, but it could. Smell, touch, feelings, and emotions. So when you pick a topic, you need to make sure that your topic is something that you could describe using at least 4. I mean, taste doesn't really do, unless you're doing cooking, a recipe in the kitchen, that's your favorite place. So the lead here can just come from the story. I find stories often imitate real life. This was the case for me with the story Reawakening by Kelly Powell. I could relate to the main character Beatrice, who felt an affinity with nature. I made the assumption in the story that Beatrice lived in the city filled with noise and cramped buildings and masses of people, and I could draw this conclusion based on lines in the story. Then as the story unraveled, I understood why when she visited her parents in her childhood home, she was transported by the beautiful sounds of nature. They moved her to rise from her cozy bed and venture outside barefoot. I would feel the same way, as the big city sounds overwhelm me, stressing me out. Like Beatrice, I too would go outside and have my senses heightened by nature. So just, what did you like about the story? What, as you went through the story, Do you understand why she felt so at home, so safe, so at peace? And our thesis today, in the story, the main character Beatrice finds her refuge in the natural outdoors. I can relate to specific places such as, and I'll be honest with you, my favorite place to go on vacation is the beach, hands down. I'd rather go there than anywhere else. That is the place where I relax. That's the place where I unwind. Okay, so you're going to pick in body one a place that if you could go to this place, this is your go-to place. This is your go-to refuge. And then you're going to pick a place inside your house. So outside of your home could be a vacation spot, and then at home, right? And yes, it could be your backyard. So I got a lot of interesting responses this week. Okay, so body one, my favorite place to visit, which feels like a sanctuary to me, is blank. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I've kind of given you some lines. You don't have to use them word for word. It's just kind of to get you started. But really make sure that you are describing, paint a picture for the reader why this place is an oasis to you. Okay, so instead of using the beach, which, oh, I could do this so easily, okay, and I'll just do it. I'll just do it off the cuff. Why is the beach a sanctuary to me? As soon as we drive up to a beach house, before we even arrive, I can smell the ocean. I can smell the salt. I can smell the fish. I can feel the moisture in the air, the humidity. There's a breeze, the ocean breeze that comes off, and I immediately feel my body relax. And so notice the description came right in. As soon as we unpack and, when we rent a house on the beach, we walk down to the beach. Just the moment the warm breeze hits my face, I'm transported as I look across at the waves crashing on the shore, when they peak and the white foam at the peak. And the rhythm of the waves just calls to me like a siren call. So you see where I'm going with the description, right? The warm sand between my toes, the feel of the water pushing and pulling my body as the waves, come in and out with the tides. So you want to be descriptive here. So first of all, as soon as I arrive, when I'm there, and the beach, I lose track of time. When a place is special, when you have no concept of time and you want to spend every moment there. When it's time to leave, it's hard to leave. That's what a sanctuary is. So when it comes to choosing where to go to uplift my mood, my happy place to be is, and I said the ocean. Now, the example one I gave on the back was the library, another one of my happy places. Now, if you think about it, a library is a great topic. What do you see? It's like a maze, right? What a great analogy there. Yes, you can smell books, the feel of turning the pages, just holding the book in your hand. And the colors and yeah. So understand that topic choice is make or break here. So first body paragraph, any place outside of your home that is special, like the perfect place. Okay. Body two, even when I'm at home, one of my favorite rooms in the house. And I got some really interesting answers on this. The living room was a big one. Unfortunately, I don't want a description of your TV and the remote and the couch. I want a description of how you feel, right? So I don't know that that's the best topic. I actually had people say bathroom. Yeah, the warm shower or a bath, and you can describe that really well. The kitchen, heart of the home, would be a great topic. Your bedroom is a great topic as long as you're descriptive. What a lot of people said, my desk, my chair, my bed, unless you're describing as soon as I lay down in my comfy, pillowy, thick cotton comforter, which feels like laying on a cloud. So as long as it's descriptive, I'm okay. But the second body paragraph was a little rough compared to the first. When it comes to choosing my safe space at home, a place that gives me the most joy is, and I think you'd probably get a lot more out of your backyard. Okay, I know for me personally, when I need to escape from the everyday stresses, there are two places, the beach and my room, right? Which remove all my frustrations, rejuvenating me. Okay, so the conclusion here, I understand the main message of the story, Reawakening by Kelly Pell, to show how the effects of nature changed Beatrice because it was a place where her senses came to life, filling her with joy. I also questioned why Beatrice chose to live in the big city if she liked the country life at her parents' house so much. And the conclusion I drew was Beatrice probably took a job in the city, right? So she could earn a higher salary, but the country life would probably be where she eventually settled down, maybe had kids, bought a home. Because if natural elements gave Beatrice that much joy, it made sense if she was given an opportunity to live anywhere she wanted, she would choose there. And the other conclusion you could draw is her parents would probably leave her that when they passed. She would inherit that someday. Um, so however whatever conclusions you draw, those are your conclusions. Okay, so if you are doing lead and conclusion, you connect the story to the application. Body 1 and body 2 are your first person point of view applications. Now, I did say, just to give this a shot, try to use one kind of figurative language in each body paragraph. And be careful when you do this. You want to use like salt and pepper. Too much will ruin the dish. Just enough to give a description. And I think if you're using figurative language, you're probably describing more. So the difference between a descriptive essay and a narrative, and I'm giving you the option, the narratives week 2, if you've already done that, or if you haven't, I'm about to record that lesson too. A narrative is a first person story, and it's true, right? And not that this isn't true, it is true. There's a little bit license to make up a little bit and embellish, but it's really describing using sensory words. Your 5 senses, your sight, your smell, right? Your touch, your hearing, your taste. Probably won't use taste, but the other ones you can pretty much do. And not even just touch, but feelings, emotional feelings. Okay, this concludes lesson 1. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this late, it's Wednesday, March 27th, and you're already late. So go ahead and submit that as soon as possible, and don't put it off because you've already put it off, haven't you? And so have I. So it's not your fault. I was a little late in getting these done. So thank you for watching and have a great day. Appreciate it.